All right, so the reason why we're having that error there was because, of course, I didn't change the actual string to value here as well. So I just added in the else statement, which is fine, but I have to also add inside of this main if statement here. So let me put that. Everything should be good. If I save now, we should not have any problems. Let's rerun this. Okay, so we're back here. Let's say this is false. I got 100 points. Going next, this is also false. What if I decide to say this is false also? We subtracted. I go back to that once false is 0. And if I keep going false, it just doesn't do anything because we are at 0. So we have nowhere to deduct more points. So it is working indeed. Of course, there's one thing that it's going to bother me for a while is the fact that as I go through, I can continue to get more points as I click on the same question and I get it right. So this is obviously wrong. And in fact, if you can, I want you to figure out how to make it so that this doesn't happen, right? So that we only are able to answer the question at this point, at least once. The one thing you can do is to make sure that the moment we answer a question, we move to the next question. Oh, there we go. That's another nice trick there. Okay. But anyway, so we are happy that we're able to see our score going here. And in fact, we can make this a little bit more appealing by add or appending a point of some sort, right? So I can come down here, can say score like that, plus. Okay. Now it gives me a little problem here. So let's see if we can suppress or replace that. Java has this new way of getting strings in code here. So I'm going to use this replace with Java message format. So click like that. It gives all the things that it needs to do. So it's a message format class where we pass the pattern. So this is score add. This is what we want to add as a string. And we have the curly braces and 0. So this will be the argument. So that means all of this is now going to be shown inside of this argument here. So that is a message format that they tell us to use. So that is the beauty there. We have it set up and that is nice. Let's see where else can we do that. In fact, let's just get all of that and put everywhere. Let's see, there is there. And like that, okay? Very good. A lot of code here, but no worries. At least things are working for now and we are happy about it. So let's go ahead and see what's going to happen with these new changes. Okay, I'm going to say false, score 100. That looks very good, okay? And again, keep going. This is also false and it's go going there. Let's see, this is true. Nope, I was deducted there. So everything else is working perfectly and at least we're making good progress here. Very good. Now, because this score here, it's actually going to eventually be a what we call the current score. So as users are playing the game, they will see the current score, right? Going back, going up and down. Let's change the wording here to something probably a little bit better. So I'm going to just say here, current score. Okay, like that. And the other thing we need to do here, I'm going to copy this whole thing again. And I'm going to make sure that whenever we come in the first time in our main here, that we actually show something because that just makes sense. So I'm going to just come here and set something like that at this point here because it's in the beginning and we'll change this later. Okay. At this point here, we're just going to go ahead and get score in the beginning of the game. So I'm going to save this. And if we go and run this, we should see current score is 0. Let's make this a little bit smaller because it's too aggressive there. So that's this one here, our text view, if I can get it. All right, let's go and find our text view. So let's see, counter text view, score, that's the one, we got that. And let's find the size. That's too much. Let's do maybe 18. All right, let's go ahead and figure out, see. Okay, current score is that. That's a good size. Let's make our trivia here size bigger. Okay, that was the highest. We can actually say perhaps 46. Oh, the highest is 36, it seems like. I quite like that. Let's go one more time, make sure everything looks good. Okay, so that's there. Very good. And while I'm here, because I know what we need to do later, in fact, let me just move this a little bit to the top. I'm going to cut this and just move our trivia to the top and put it back. Maybe that would be helpful. And then what I'm going to do here is add another text. In fact, it should be below there. So for our score, let me add some text right now here. I'm just going to say text. because I want to add something so we can see. Let's just put something like that so we can see. There it is. Make this a little bit bigger. And what I need is actually, let me get to this here. It's very interesting. And I want this to be at the bottom, and this of course to the right, and this of course there. Okay, maybe move that a little bit to the top if I can. That should be good. And this is going to be, that is the current score, and I'm going to put it highest score here. So I'm going to say highest score, and just put some outrageous number there. There we go. There is the number. And while we're here, we're going to change the font to the same, but also we're going to change the color, perhaps to something that we already have. How about that? Would that work? Sure, why not? There we go. So we have that now, and we know that we have the highest score. This is the text view where we will show the highest score of the user. Okay, so that's when we are going to be able to use shared preferences to save the highest score or the latest score, if you will. And then whenever they come back, it will always display here. Let's see how that works. Okay, there we go. That's not too bad. It's kind of small, but you can kind of see that we have the current score, and then we have, of course, going to be highest score. Let me perhaps just add the text back here that says highest score so that we see. All of that's going to be dynamic anyway. Okay, there we go. And of course, we can always change the way things look, but at least we are placing all the things in the right place here. Very good. So let's make sure that everything still works. There it is. Go next. That's false. Our score is keep going. The animations are going. So there's really awesome things happening here. If I say that's true, the false is happening there, and we have the deduction working fine. So the next thing we're going to do is to get the highest score. First of all, we'll have to, right? And then we'll see how we do that, because the idea is to make sure that the user, when they leave before the activity is forever gone, we want to save that score, right? So we will go back to the Android activity lifecycle so we understand how to harness all of that information that we want to then save that to our shared preferences. And then when they come back, we're going to go ahead and show them where they left off, right? Perfect. I'll see you next.